Hi, my name is Barry Siff, and I'm running for Boulder City Council. I'm extremely excited to be part of this Community Foundation Human Services Alliance virtual forum. Thank you.
Thanks, Barry. Can you tell us about your personal involvement with Boulder County's nonprofit community?
Prior to moving to Colorado, I spent 11 years in Omaha, Nebraska. I did a lot of work with delivering Meals on Wheels. I did a lot of work with the homeless in Omaha, Nebraska. I actually received an award as Volunteer of the Year one year. Did a lot of community service activities. Since moving to Colorado, I would say I haven't done quite as much. But in the past few years here in Boulder, I've been extremely involved with the Youth Services Initiative program with the Boulder Parks and Rec Department. The kids there are phenomenal. We've gotten to know them so well. We've visited many of them at their homes. We've played with them. We've taken them to Colorado Rockies games and University of Colorado football games, and they've worked with us at our events as well with 5430 Sports. We've really engaged and worked with the kids and realized that the assimilation of kids like that into our community is just so important, and we're dedicated to that. EcoCycle, while not part of the Human Services Alliance, is certainly a nonprofit, and with 5430 Sports, we partnered with EcoCycle several years ago and have done some remarkable things in terms of recycling, composting, and other energy efficient and environmentally efficient activities within the business. We've proven that business and sustainability and the environment can work hand in hand. Thanks.
Great. The Community Foundation has identified a lack of diversity in representation, both among elected officials and among nonprofit leadership. How can the city increase its inclusiveness, particularly in hearing from marginalized community members?
That's a real challenge. I think the general principle of this is to engage Boulder's diverse population on their own terms. I think it's important for us as city council members and the rest of the community to get engaged in activities of some of these other groups. For example, this weekend, I went down to Boulder Pride Fest on the Pearl Street Mall, visited every booth, talked with lots of people, got to understand where people are coming from, what people need, and what services are needed in this community. I think once we engage with different groups, the process becomes more simple, and the groups understand that there is a place for them in the community and can better be heard by being on boards, being on commissions, and feeling more comfortable that the city does care about them. I did a ride-along, for example, with Boulder City Police a couple weeks ago up on the hill after all the activities on the hill. I think if some of the community leaders from groups in the nonprofits participated in some of that and were welcomed into that, again, we're bringing people together and making them feel comfortable such that they can become more active in the community. So I think it's, again, bringing people together in a positive environment and working together. I hate to keep coming back to Youth Services Initiative, but I really love the program. I think starting out with kids and youth and making them and developing them as future leaders is a key. There are some kids, they're all great, but there are some kids in particular who I see, and my background's human resources, so I kind of know people, and I see these kids, they're potential leaders. And if we can grab onto them and, bring them to city council meetings and get them involved in some committees and get some people mentoring them as potential leaders, I think that's how we can get some people from underrepresented communities into our community.
What are your ideas on addressing volatile sales tax revenues, a portion of which is used to support local nonprofits?
I think this is the critical factor today in the Boulder City Council election, without a doubt. We're talking about a lot of other issues that are all very important, but when all's said and done, we've got to fund our police services, we've got to fund our fire department, and we've got to fund our nonprofits. We are a compassionate community, but money has to come in, and our sales tax revenues have been declining for years, and never more so than this year, and it's going to continue. We need to find new revenue streams. My business experience for the past 30 years, both in big business and small business, has equipped me to handle something like that and be creative and come up with new revenue streams. The Boulder is a perfect example. One weekend in May, we bring in tens of thousands of people into this town who give us money to pay for all of our services all year long, and then they leave. They don't bother our roads, they don't bother our environment. It's really good. We need to look at events like that. I strongly favor exploring a joint conference center and hotel with the University of Colorado. The Boulder brand is so valuable. I was speaking to someone yesterday on a business deal in Boston, and when the person asked me, so what's your address? And I said, Boulder. She was like, oh, I've always wanted to go to Boulder. Well, there are thousands and tens of thousands of people across the country who want to come to Boulder. We need to provide the facilities to have them come and have meetings and spend their money here and help our revenue stream. There are lots of opportunities like that, and I think I have the background and the leadership to make those happen.
Great. Anything else you'd like to share with the nonprofit community?
I think, the people in Boulder, despite our differences on some key issues, we're all here for a lot of the same reasons. And I just left someone this morning and we were talking about Boulder and so many people still kind of living in the 60s. And we both agreed that's a good thing. I mean, because the 60s were kind of a cool time, it was love and peace and we all cared about each other. And I think that speaks to our nonprofit community. We do care, and we have to have those safety nets here, and we have to develop, as we just talked about, the leadership within those communities and get them engaged in our community. The thing I feel I bring to the Boulder City Council is not just talking about these things and caring about these things, but knowing how to get things done by building partnerships, by getting involved, and getting action and results. And that's why I think you should vote for Barry Siff for City Council.
Thank you.